So we'll get to a clip from Doom. Shout out to my buddy Doom for finding this clip.
Yeah, he's in the chat, so make sure you say it a few more times.
Hey, Doom, I want to be in your intro. Shout out to Doom. Guys, this clip is from Doom, and he does great work. He never puts me in his intro. But I love Doom more than any of these people. I actually reached out to Doom for other clips we're playing, and he was very receptive, so I like Doom.
Good guy.
Is that enough to make it to the intro? What more do I have to say?
Maybe.
Doom, you rascal! That'll get in there. But yeah, so I saw once I saw Mullen was on Dan Soder's podcast, I said, this is one I got to listen to all the way through. I love Nick Mullen. We just talked about him on Why You Laughing. Let's see what the boys had to say. And they start talking about Shane Gillis. And Luis J. Gomez and Nick Mullen are the two guys I've heard talk about genuinely being jealous of Shane Gillis in a very funny way. Like, they're just honest about it. And Mullen tells you how he has abused his friendship with Shane here.
This is the shorter clip, right?
I don't know. It's the one about Shane Gillis.
Okay.
Throws me off.
I have not seen the Shane Bud Light.
The latest one's good, where he's like in the wrong commercial. He's in the cologne commercial, and Jason Solomon.
They should do a Bud Light commercial with Shane where it's like, and it's with the understanding like, it's Shane. I'm the Bud Light guy now, and everybody's like high fiving him. He's going to football games. Everyone's like, yeah, Bud Light, Shane Gillis or whatever.
Kid Rock's back drinking it,
and then he gets home from a late day or whatever, and then he's like, it's kind of hot in my apartment, so he puts on a house fan or whatever, and then he's taking a phone call from Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, I just want to let you know,
I love Bud Light.
I'm doing a song for tires.
It's Ted Nugent. He's like, Shane, my best friend, dude.
Hey, dude, let's go hunting.
And he's like, how you doing? He's like, it's just, I guess we're getting the heater installed in the farm, so it's like, or the air conditioner installed in the farm, so it's so hot. And then Shane walks too close to the house fan, and it cuts his penis off.
Oh no!
And he's like, I don't have a penis.
How am I going to drink my Bud Light?
And then I don't have a penis anymore. And the doctors are like, the best option, you're going to bleed to death unless we turn it into a pussy.
Oh no!
And so they have to turn it into a pussy.
It's a Bud Light commercial.
Yeah. And then he goes outside of the farm.
Yeah.
The press is all there, and a gust of wind blows his pants off.
Like a Marilyn Monroe, like Marilyn Monroe.
And everyone sees the pussy, and they're like, Shane's trans now.
Oh
and
no!
And then people are like, well, should we stop drinking Bud Light? And they're like, no, dude, it's Shane. And then it's for fucking everybody, including the trannies. Bud Light.
And then he puts it up and he cheers.
Dylan's
it's like a black.
Dylan.
It really would. I gotta say,
Derek.
it's a little much for like a Sunday afternoon when you're watching football. Yeah. I do think it would bring the country together, though. Like, CBS would push back on it, but
it should have been a Gillian Keefe sketch.
I don't know how Nick Mullen isn't writing for Tires.
No shit.
Like, he should be, give him whatever he wants. Nick Mullen should be part of that show.
Maybe he can't be near Staff.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Good point.
Ravine, and he's like, cheers, bro. And then George Floyd's like, cheers.
And he goes,
Dylan I think we skipped over where he says like Dylan Mulvaney should be dressed as Derek Chauvin.
Yeah,
and then he puts it up and he cheers.
Dylan's
it's like a black.
Dylan Mulvaney dressed as Derek Chauvin, and he's like, cheers, bro. And then George Floyd's like, cheers.
And he goes, cheers.
Cheers.
And then, right. And the house is crying because he's so overwhelmed with the love.
Right. Yeah.
This is kind of like the Kylie Jenner commercial.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
How come that's what I was thinking.
Shane, if you're listening, please pitch this. I love bothering him.
Yeah, just setting up pitches.
I texted him the other like a week or I don't know, a month ago. I was like, look, I know you have contact with the Trump team. Please, just if there's any way you can like fucking pitch me for Secretary of the Interior.
That would be.
And then he didn't respond. In the hat. He didn't respond, and then I was like, just following up.
Lewis was on. I wonder if this idea inspired Nick to do this, because Lewis was on the Adam Friedland show with Nick. And said that he just texts Shane sometimes and asks for $1 million. And Shane will go, for what? And he's like, no, just to have. Like, you won't miss it. Just give me, it doesn't matter what I do with it. Yeah, just give me $1 million. And Shane has to be like, no.
The windows are going to close.
You're using agent speak?
Yeah, and then
I just want to double back.
I'm like, dude, the window's closing. He's like, I can't.
That's where you wrote that.
He's like, I can't do it.
I can't do
I
it.
was like, come on.
Just at least pitch.
Just come on.
DTJ. Did you do Donald Trump Jr.?
You know that they're not going to give it to a Native American.
No.
So nobody who gets it deserves
How funny would that be, though, if Trump did that? Where
Right.
he was like, I've announced lightning skies.
Well,
will take
it always
over.
has to go to like somebody that's like, you know, Native American.
What what is it called?
And it's usually
What's
just
the
it's like a white
position?
person with a bolo tie.
Yeah,
One.
what's the position called?
Secretary of the Interior.
Secretary of the Interior.
I think it's always the Native American.
It's an old cowboy.
Right. Yeah.
Where he's like, hey, our prospector.
Yeah.
He's like, there's so much
Yeah.
hills.
I will say this is what it's interesting to look at this and think of like how delicate the chemistry of podcasting is.
Mhm.
Where Dan Soder, great podcaster, hilarious guy. Nick Mullen, great podcaster, hilarious guy. If they started Come Town or The Bonfire together, it wouldn't have worked. It's just their chemistry. Like, you got to let Nick go off. Or you
Right.
got to let Dan interrupt and do his voices and chime in with his idea. But together, like, for either of the two podcasts they did, or radio show in Dan's case, like, it wouldn't have worked. They needed the chemistry of the guys they had.
Right.
Stav and Adam had to let Nick breathe, whereas Dan's an interrupter. It's interesting to think about that. But
Right.
That is great, though. If Shane was like, hey, bro, I did it. If you got a call,
Yeah.
this whole President Trump.
I would ask for a massive budget and I would try to do Jurassic Park. We have to have the technology at this point.
You think they
Think
have
about all the fantasy movies from 30 years ago that are now just real.
Terminator's becoming very real.
Terminator's real. There's an Instagram account called George Droid. And it's like George Floyd is a robot. And it's amazing. You got to look at it.
George.
how much longer is this clip?
Floyd?
George Droid.
Like 40 more seconds.
All right, I forget if we might have left too much in, but I'm enjoying just listening to them. So.
We'll just keep going.
And they just made an Instagram.
And you go pull up one of the videos. You're like, it's very well done.
That's fucking wild. That's always the people where I always thought they were way funnier than me. The people that'll commit to that stuff. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm such a pussy.
Well, those are artists, you know? Those are real artists.
Those are the ones the agents are afraid of.
We're just dog shit content creators.
Yeah. We're just slop makers.
Yeah, right. It is very funny to do stand-up comedy. It is funny that stand-up comedy has the money
All right.
that it does
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, keep going. Actually, sorry.
right now.
It won't for long.
Of course not.
No, like I would probably say 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. I'm just
Got to get it in now.
right. Yeah. Just do what you can, make the bag, and then
Get out of there.
and throw it all in crypto, I guess.
Mullen, that's the.
I did.
All
I
right,
made
all
that
right,
mistake the first time
I do
around.
wonder. I made that like a 40-minute clip. It should have ended when they stopped talking about Shane. But my favorite part was that Shane had to respond, "I can't." Like after Nick texting him, get a hold of Trump for me, and then he keeps texting him to the point where Shane had to be like, "I can't do that."
Like how he's like, yeah, he didn't respond. So like a week later, I was like, just following up.
Shane, come on. I think that's why like Shane has kind of avoided people turning on, like fans turning on him, because he seems like a very likable guy that you want to be as successful as he is.
Yeah.
Where like I think the answer to my question about Andrew Schultz is like you look at the accent and the entourage he rolls with and all that shit, and you don't love the idea that he has a ton of money.
Right.
know,
like, Shane's still at like a 99 restaurant drinking beers.
Drinking Bud Lights, watching college football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you want him, you like that a guy like Nick Mullen is like, Shane, I've got an idea. And Shane has to reply, I can't.
He didn't change his number yet.
Yeah. So, and, you like that he goes on college game day and fucks with Saban, you know? Was
he
Saban
didn't-
playful with him at all?
I couldn't tell, which makes me think no.
That's what I like about Belichick. I think Belichick would have been.
Oh, definitely.
I think if he was fucking with Belichick, I think Belichick has a sense of humor. I don't know if Saban does or not.
Well, he's a coach again, so he might not know.
Yeah. All right. So the reason this episode caught my eye, and again, Doom, you son of an onion, you. I feel like that'll get in, right? That's the kind of thing he would use.
I hope. Hey, Doom's sick. I hope that goes in before yours.
That would really chap my ass. But But Doom posted this clip. Nick Mullen, and this is a dangerous road we're about to go down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Nick Mullen dedicates his life to this,
Uh-huh.
which is not impossible,
Yep.
that could be, we could ruin the Dabbleverse could ruin a genius mind like Nick Mullen
Please don't, Nick.
by piquing his interest. So Nick, stay away. I know it's interesting, but it'll consume your life. So Nick Mullen discovered.
Talk it over with Big J before you step any further into this.
Yes, yeah. Big J's like, oh, I got to tell you, I almost made the same mistake once. So Nick Mullen discovered who Nick Rekieta is, and he tells Dan Soder. And here's the other thing: an innocent boy like Dan Soder, who isn't in these internet worlds at all, we could be corrupting him here. So, as a fan of these guys, it breaks my heart to see they could be sucked into the same loop that I am.
Yeah, so there's a guy on YouTube that he's like a YouTube lawyer.
Okay.
Who do you know this story already? Oh, okay. He was like he's like a lawyer.
Sure.
That gained some following on.
I will say, I thought he was going to be talking about like Karen Reed or something, like some lawyer that blew up from that. And then something happens where I was like, no, stop.
You're like, oh, okay. So he's watching old coverage of the OJ case or something.
Yeah.
What is this about?
YouTube, because he covered the Kyle Rittenhouse. He would like live stream the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Here's what's going on.
Yes.
He'd like break it down like ESPN for
He
law.
did that with the Amber Heard trial too.
Got it.
And then I guess his thing was he would like have a glass of scotch on stream. You know, he'd drink his scotch and like do his stream and talk about legal stuff. But I would imagine prior to this, he was a guy that he lived in Minneapolis. He's like fucking, he's got a family, lawyer, upper middle class guy.
Yeah, just goes to work.
And then like got famous on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would have his glass of scotch. And then I just saw a clip. It's like a 45-second long clip. And the first one is him a couple of years ago where he's got the drink. He's like, it's not a good choice or a bad choice. It's just a choice. If you can't.
Which is a great, Nick has already zeroed in on who Nick Rekieta is.
Yes.
That's exactly how he presented it. And this is the problem, is Nick has a mind where he can get obsessed with this stuff. I want him out creating. I don't want him on this little piggy. Interrupting me.
To someone like, hey, you drink a lot.
You have a glass of scotch every case. You're doing 2 cases a day.
And then it cuts to him, I guess, recently. He's lost 100 pounds. He's like fucking like, I mean, he looks like he's on fentanyl.
Oh,
he's like completely fucked up. And I guess it's like he got arrested. The police found like a whole ounce of cocaine. His like kids tested positive for cocaine. Him and his wife got arrested.
So this guy got famous.
There was another YouTube couple.
No, stay away, Nick.
Fucking each other.
You've corrupted this beautiful boy.
No.
I swear, if Nick Mullen ever mentions the Beggy monster, you'll all have hell to pay. You hear me? That's where you've gone too far. Don't corrupt this man. He's a delicate genius. And him getting obsessed with the Imholtz could ruin him.
Speaking of, Jim's neglected mother, $10. Beggy monster, I rebuke thee in the name of Goal Almighty.
Yeah. Keep Nick Mullen away from this terrible world. He's too good for it.
Another YouTube couple living with them, and they were all fucking each other.
Dude, I gotta look at this. I gotta look this up. I gotta find this. But that's what it.
Well, it's like
I swear to Christ, if Nick Mullen's like, and then there's this goal that he has to hit every day, and now there's a leaderboard for the goal, and the rules are always changing about the goal, and sometimes he tries to be nice to the audience. He's like, I think I'm going to retire from comedy and just study the goal every day.
The chat is like, join us, Nick.
No, don't listen to them, Nick. You're better than this.
Give into it, Nick. Become one with the obsession.
Nicholas.
crazy because it's fucking YouTube.
Well,
Like some guy got like, you know, I got 100,000 people watching my stream, and then he just goes casino.
I really enjoyed Come Eats and Gordon, Nick. Adam's a bug. Imagine how much money you could make if you were hitting your goal.
We said we weren't doing the Begging Monster today. Look how powerful he is.
But here I am.
That's what happens. Because
you know,
the
it's
people
like-
that used to make
I'm
music,
ace, dude. I'm fucking
but people that used to make music and would get like that kind of pussy.
Yeah.
Now you see them go like, well, we don't have that anymore. It's
But that's
gone.
the thing.
But
It's
that-
not
'cause
even
it
like
was-
you're
They're
cynical.
adding such different insight that I hadn't really thought about. Damn it.
Oh no!
No, they're good at it.
Let's just bring the whole Dabbleverse up.
Oh, no.
bit more money, but it's like something about just that exposure. You're like, well, I guess I got to be a drug addict and have a third.
God damn, I'm gonna watch this. I gotta.
No, no, Dan, get away!
Run
to
away,
Macho
Dan.
Man, quick!
I love the Steel Toe Morning Show. Yeah. No.
No, someone play a video of Corey Feldman. Hurry!
He's on oxygen from Steel Toe.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because you don't know what, like, especially now with internet celebrities, like a YouTube thing, you watch them when they're regular, and you.
I hate the fact that Aaron's gonna watch this and be like, "I was just called a YouTube celebrity."
Oh, yeah, Nick Mullen and Dan Soder are talking about me.
Yeah.
Cheer for him, and you go like, "Look at this guy! This guy's doing it," and you don't realize as the years go on, you're like, "He's a different person now."
Yeah, yeah.
This guy's making like $3 million a year from just sitting in there drinking scotch, being like, "I say the guy did kill him.
Yeah.
Prosecute."
No, they all said Shane's penis got cut off by a house band.
But he brought everyone together.
Well, people don't know yet. We're still waiting for the big reveal.
At that house band.
Yeah.
What a perfect way to end this.
And then Dan spent the next 3 days watching watching the goal clips.
I
On
heard
Real
Nick
Media Player.
Nick hasn't slept since.
It's such a thing. Like, I would never think about it, of course. Why would I connect Nick Mullen to Nick Rekieta? And then when he brings him up, I'm like, that's such a thing he would dive deep into and get interested in.
It's perfect for him. Fuck.
I just hope it doesn't consume his brain and ruin him. I've learned myself it can do that to people.
Pat Ford, R.I.P.
Yes, we've lost a good man, a father. So, Nick, please, for the love of God, stay away. It would be great, but your mind could be put to better uses. And then when I hear Dan go like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, oh, he would add a totally funny, different element that Nick doesn't bring.
He's gonna have a perfect Imholt impression by next week.
Damn it! He's going to put Tukey to shame. We don't stand a chance.
His Beggy Monster is gonna be way better than Mike's.
It's not even close. People won't even remember I did it. It'll become the Soder Beggy Monster. But yes, very funny to see. And I wonder, like, how deep Nick went on it. Because if he knows of this other YouTube couple, he must have found something on them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to Come Town and the Adam Friedland Show long enough, you know how his mind works and how he obsesses over these things. So he probably has a dossier on Aaron Imholt already. But I just pray his mind is still whole and he hasn't been sucked in. But speaking of the Imholts and Nick Rekieta, someone else clapped back at Steel Toe recently.
Yep. Yes, he did.
That was Stuttering John. Imagine the impression Dan Soder could do of Stuttering John.
That would.
God damn it.
You just start crushing Mick Ultras. I don't know.
The only way I'd be okay with this is if we get Dan Soder on the Stuttering John drinking game. He doesn't have to fall off the wagon. He just needs to be there to pepper in some jokes, you know? That'd be fun.
Ray, $5. Do you think the Beggy Man is like when Venom takes over fully on Spider-Man? Yes.
He's the Beggy Man now?
Yeah. Look out, dude. Ray, you're in trouble.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Krager's did it.